started jumping and messed up his steering gears. Where are we? Coldwater, Michigan. May 25th, 2000.
Definitely.
It's an area qualifier. We're not telling Brody because he gets a little nervous when we tell him it's an area qualifier.
Okay.
Trying to go to the nationals here.
Hey everybody, we're back. Oh, what the hell is this?
Don't make fun of my bike. This is mine.
Is gotta be what you're thinking, because I know that was the first thought I had when I saw it. First, introductions. Everyone, this is my son Brody. Brody went off to college, got a well-paying job, got a 4-year degree, graduated with a 4.0, fairly smart fella, and then went off to Detroit, became a banker, bought a house, did all the stuff that any dad would want their kid to do, and made his own way. And now he has managed to make his way here to Brock's Performance for a little bit of fun. We were having a beer one night. Brody was visiting from Detroit, and he's like, "Dad, I want a motorcycle." Brody's been racing since he was a tot. He actually stopped racing. How old were you? 12, 13. And started getting more into sports at school and all the other things you do at school. We still rode and we still ride for fun. But he was a racer, so he's been around motorcycles. During that entire time, Dad took care of the bikes. Dad wrenched on the bikes, Dad bought the bikes, Dad maintained the bikes. Dad learned that letting Brody wash the bikes probably wasn't the best idea. So I just took care of all that stuff. That's what I do. I'm that guy. So Brody could go be a kid and play with his action figures and the other kids and play in the dirt and do kid stuff. But he didn't really get a lot of opportunity to work on motorcycles himself. He saw what I was doing, so he has a very good, I don't know what I want to say.
Some sort of vague grasp on motorcycles.
A vague grasp on motorcycles besides just riding them. So we were sitting back having a beer. Brody's 26.
Yep.
He's allowed to have a beer. And we started talking about it. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I would like to teach you more things about motorcycles as much as you would like to learn. I think I'm a fairly decent teacher. What do you want to do? Do you want to do a sport bike? Do you want to do a cruiser? What do you want to do? And we talked about it, and I went out of town. I came back into town, and what do we have here? Brody went and bought his own motorcycle by his own self with his own money, and this is what we ended up with. So
I can explain.
Brody, what do you see here that we don't see?
Well, it has 2 wheels, which is a good start.
Agreed.
And, you know, I landed on the decision of buying a Harley just because I look back. I've had more fun on a Harley than any other motorcycle, just because of sheer life experience. Like, it's really fun to hop on a sport bike and go 7 seconds down a track and not die. That's pretty sweet, but I mean, think about just the experiences I've had. I mean, we've gone to Sturgis a couple of times, and heck, just rides.
I gotta tell a story real quick because this is awesome. Brody's first time out to Sturgis, we had the 9-second ZX6R that we just sold here not too long ago, set up in street trim. We were working, so Brody flew in. He's got his backpack, he's got his helmet, I've got the bike in the trailer, and he comes up and he's like, "Dad, can I take the bike?" We were at the drag strip, and he's like, "Can I take the bike back to the house with some friends of ours that know what's going on? They're going to take a real nice trip through the, through the scenery, and I want to go with them." So you jumped on the bike. Adios, we'll see you a little bit later. And we got back to the house probably 3-4 hours later. Pretty decent ride on a sport bike. And I said, Brody, what'd you think? He's like, that bike's not very comfortable. He's like, my wrists hurt and my elbows hurt. And so I said, well, why don't you take, and we had just bought an old Dyna as a project bike. I said, tomorrow, why don't you go for a ride and take the Dyna? So they go back on the same road, Spearfish Canyon Road, that they had come up. And after work the following day, I said, Brody, what'd you think? And he said, Dad, he said, this place is so beautiful. He said, you can see the mountains when you're on the Dyna. You can see the mountains and you can actually pay attention to what's going on. He says, when I'm on the ZX6, I'm bent over like this. All I can see is ground. Because it's good for going around corners, a lot of fun. But like he said, from the experience standpoint, just the difference between those two bikes put him on the Dyna for the rest of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
So he does have experience with Dynas, with sport bikes. He has drag raced ZX14. I think the first bike you ever took down a drag strip was
ZX14.
Is it that or the Dyna?
Yeah.
I think it was the Dyna at
Sturgis Dragway.
At Sturgis Dragway. He made 2 passes on their Dyna at the S&S guys let you ride a bike. 2 passes, and I'm like, yeah, it's a Dyna. You know, it's not real fast. It won't be too bad. And then they came back, and they just figured because he was with me and he's my son, they throw him the keys to the T143 Dragon. This is a 9-second bagger. And I look over and I'm like, well, he's been riding all his life. It's now or never, you know. If he wrecks it, I got to fix it and pay for it anyway. So next thing you know, he's blowing down the drag strip on this on a super fast bagger. And we just get to have fun like that just because it's us. Brody on the T143 Dragon. Got out of the groove.
And the fun thing about these bikes too is you can, not that anybody would do this, but you can drag race your buddies and not even break the speed limit, you know.
I don't want to get into all the stories. We went out the one time and I was on my bagger and he was on that Dyna and we drag raced and they were very closely matched. I don't know that we broke the speed limit.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we stopped and we drag raced again.
Yeah.
And then we stopped and we just had a lot of fun with this. So the Dyna was more of an experience thing.
Yeah, I've just had more fun on a Harley than any other bike.
So that's the reason behind the Harley. Now, you bought this because it was the lowest priced Dyna, I think, in the immediate area, right?
Yeah, that's true, and they're hard to find now.
Used bike values are going way up because bikes are getting hard to find. Everybody wants to go ride, blah, 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 blah. So his budget didn't allow to go out and buy a brand new bike. And plus, if you want to trick them out, you need that money left over.
Yeah, exactly.
So start with something, and if we have to fix it,
yeah,
we'll fix it. If it breaks, we'll fix it. If we want to make it better, we'll fix it. And we'll take you guys along for the ride. The day he showed up and the bike was broken, I got back into town. He had already ripped off a bunch of this fine stuff. So if you want to go back through here and look, someone spray bombed this inside and out. You can't see through it. Why would you want to see through it, right? Looks like the original paint was silver, but this looks like some kind of I don't know, went to a bike rally, a flea market, or something, and had somebody add the flames. I don't think those are factory, but they may be. They feel clear coated over, so all of our Dyna experts can correct me on that. This stuff here, great for long trips. Not so aesthetically pleasing. So So you just basically yanked off the stuff that was heavy and ugly. This bike has not been maintained. It sat for
Not at all, like 4 years or something.
sat for like
that.
4 years. You can see the engine's going to need finish work if we get into that. But I mean, here we have a filter that is just completely null and void of anything that looks like oil that would help keep the debris out of the engine. So we're definitely going to figure out what kind of sprint filter we can put on this and make that work. That's got to be a priority, because even though it's got a lot of miles, there's no reason to ride it like this and shorten its life even more. So something like that. We don't make a pipe for this bike right now, but we'll be able to maybe do a little bit of something. And we're just going to go have fun with this bike, teach you what we're doing. Is it going to be the most professional? No. We grabbed one of our associates here at Brock's Performance, Will, and said, hey, I know you're getting ready to go home and it's late and Brock's all dirty and looking like he's been working all day, and so does Brody. Well, would you mind grabbing this camera? So there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of tripod action where we just sit there and ramble on countlessly. And then the editing is going to be Brody's deal.
I apologize in advance.
He'll figure it out. So anyway, if you have questions, put them in the comments section. If they're addressed to me, I'll handle them. If they're addressed to Brody, he can handle them. We'll tag team them. We like answering the questions because that also helps us give us a direction as to where you'd like to see us go. This is the project. Brody will come up with the name. I've already asked him, whenever you do a project, you have to have okay, what's my vision? Where are we going to go? What do I have at my disposal to do it? You know, we sell certain parts for Brody. He's an employee of Brock's Performance now, so he'll get the employee discount. He gets dad's time for free, so that works out pretty well. But budget matters, right? You can go put $25,000 into this bike, and it may make you feel good, but you better plan on that as tuition, because you're not getting that $25,000 back. A smarter thing to do is figure out what you want to do, figure out how much you want to spend, and then, and this is big, do not allow the urge to vary from that plan to ruin your initial goal. Let's come up with a goal, figure out what we want to do it, and then when we're done, we've learned something, you've completed a project, and then you can either sell it to buy a different bike and do it again, or keep it forever, or give it to your kids, or whatever you want to do. But you really have to be disciplined. He's not good at discipline. I wasn't at his age either. So it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a challenge for me not to go into dad mode and try and do stuff.
Yeah, don't touch my bike.
Whatever, it's your bike. Get it off my lip. This is going to be a lot of fun. That's why we decided to do it and bring you guys along. So until next time, I'm Brock.
I'm Brody. Like and subscribe, please. We don't want to have to hunt you down.
Like and subscribe. I always forget that stuff. I'm just too busy babbling and having fun. So anyway, until next time, watch our playlist. Hopefully we can do these quicker than our typical Brock stuff, so you can learn more while we also do cool stuff concurrent.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.